Alright, here we go with a run showcasing the Bluebird, which is a tier 1 that I almost never take these days. It used to be one of those ones that I bought all the time. I'm sure it's probably way up there in terms of my most bought tier 1s from the Pack 2 days. There were a lot of games where I tried to just win with only Bluebirds, and I don't think I ever succeeded. But yeah, Bluebird is one of those tier 1s that probably is in the shortlist for best tier 1 in the game. So actually let me know in the comments below what you think the best tier 1 is, in at least in custom packs, because obviously it's slightly different outside of customs where you don't have so many options to support these various units. But yeah, I had an idea that I wanted to quickly record with multiple Bluebirds on the squad. And the reason we're also taking Magpie, which is another tier 1 I almost never take, is just to swap the stats. So Bluebird, obviously its main Achilles heel is that it has a 2-1 starting stat line. But generally you'd be pairing the Bluebird with units similar to Magpie that have very good starting health. And you can kind of, combo them together and end up getting large units very quickly. So we get the first swap here, then we can just combine the Magpies together and swap again when we find the next Frog. I suppose you could definitely argue that Frog is better than Bluebird in the current version of the game. I think it's Frog and Chipmunk that are the two super pets in tier 1. Bluebird definitely probably does have a case to answer why it's not on tier 1, but I would say I probably don't see it as much as you would expect for a unit this good. And I'm sure that is mainly because of the stat line. But here we go, we get another Bluebird here. I think I'm just going to abandon the Magpie since we find a couple of Sphinx, so we can use that as the next stat swap base. And this is actually a really good start because we're actually winning as well. Okay, we have lost 1 heart, but that's 2 wins on turn 6. And a lot of the time when you take these greedy Bluebird starts, you're going to end up losing early lives and then recovering the value later on. So I'm looking for one specific other unit besides the Frog to swap the Sphinx, which I guess we'll just do now and then presumably buy another Bluebird. Okay, we're going to combine them together to try and increase our odds of getting more attack on the units that matter. And then we've got the pill frozen for the typical turn 7 turtle pill to make sure that our Bluebird is protected. Actually, we win again here, so that was very lucky. And we get the turtle in the shop. Perfect. So level up on the middle Bluebird. And we immediately get the unit that I'm interested in using to fill up the rest of the team, and that is the Rooster. Rooster has obviously been around for a long time. It's gone through a few different versions. I think the current version is reasonably fair, but I don't see too many people play it in customs. I guess actually I don't see too many people play it in static either. But I wanted to combo it here with a rarely seen perk, which is the donut. So now that we have 4 Bluebirds, as we buy lemons as soon as we possibly can. Unfortunately, I haven't found a donut yet, and then rearranged just for the symmetry. But I want to put donut on the Rooster and see how quickly we can get to 50 attack. With all 4 Bluebirds funneling stats to the Rooster. Actually, as I say that we don't see Rooster very often, the opponent there has Rooster as well. So yeah, explain that one to me. Anyway, here we go. We get the donut. So now all of the Bluebird buffs are guaranteed to go onto the Rooster. And I think the other ones are, okay, the guy at the back only has 3 HP with the lemon, but we can remedy that fairly shortly if we find some of the tier 6 food. Actually, here's a Hippogriff on this team, so all the rarely seen units coming out to play. Okay, there we go, we get the celery, so we can, okay, I give it to the other guy. Probably should have put that on the 4 HP unit. Maybe the lemon, I guess, is enough to block Crocodile and so on. And here's another one of the tier 1 super pets that is definitely a candidate for being one of the best. The fan mussel. That one is very, very common now compared to Bluebird. Okay, we get the level 2, and I'm just going to keep the peaches frozen. I mentioned this the other day that peach is just an automatic take now in virtually every pack. Now we are going to lose to Leech Camel. That's a given. Actually, it was not too far off, to be honest. Maybe if the Bluebirds at the back weren't so weak. But we'll top them all up with food. I didn't really want to feed the Rooster too much. I gave it a little bit of health earlier to make sure that it had a chance of surviving start of battle. Which these days is even more perilous given all the jump attackers on the go. We get the victory there. We can't use soup yet because we're still on 3 hearts. But celery will do nicely. And then another peach. 33 attack. We probably need to draw some rounds or lose some rounds to get a chance of going to 50. But it looks like this team, which has the butterfly to copy our biggest unit, is not going to help us out, and we actually win a little bit too quickly. But still, a really fun team, very simple to set up, and very satisfying seeing the Rooster suddenly spike in attack stat.